YouTube joint. Yeah. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's going on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook? What's up? What's up, everybody? All right, everybody, come in and share. I know it's been a minute. Don't fuss at me. Don't come in fussing at me, cause it's been a minute. Don't come in fussing at me. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in and share. Come on in and share. Okay, let's turn it around. I see that it's a little. Bam. Let's try it this way, y'all. Let's try it this way. Hey, y'all check out Tricky Hudson. This is his. Man, he got so many albums, man. The guy is just he's a great guy. I'm playing him, getting him a little pub. Shout out to Tricky Hudson, a local guy. See, it's time to level up, y'all. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's going on? I'm not gonna be on long, like I say all the time, but I want to make sure that we unpack some stuff today, man. We've been talking about dating, love, sex, relationships, all of that stuff, and just based on the response, I can tell that y'all miss me going live a little bit. So I told them no matter how tired I am, no matter how I feel, because man, I feel horrible today, man. I blew my back out of something. I don't know what happened, but. We're going to make sure that I go live more. I promise you, we will be going live more. I'm sharing it on all my pages, which means we will be going out to about 250,000 people. Oh yeah, yeah. What's up? What's going on, everybody? What's up? Make sure you come in and speak. Let me know where you're from. I'm able to see comments, some comments to expand. Oh yeah, I can see the comments now. So make sure that you like, follow. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Okay, you're sideways. I got you. Perfect. Okay, got you. Yeah, I see you down there. What's up, Scott? Man, what's up, Scott? You gotta holler at me, man. You gotta holler at me, man. Holler at me. I see we got some folk on YouTube, and we are actually live for the first time on TikTok. That's what's up. We are live on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I just wanted to unpack. Man, we've been talking about some real stuff, and I know I hadn't been live in a minute, so like I said, don't fuss at me. We're gonna deal with some stuff on tonight, you know. And I promise you, you'll see more of me. It's just my time has been so limited with all the different things that I got going on. I got new books coming out, new projects, etc. So the first thing I need you to do, I need you to come in. I need you to lie. What's up, Eddie? What up, what up, what up? I see you, I see you. Last week, I talked about the water being bad, and I talked about the dating pool, and I actually used a biblical reference when it came to the dating pool as it relates to the pool of Bethesda. And, you know, people, they really enjoyed that word just based on the inboxes, just based on the feedback. And so I wanted to make sure, man, that we come back and we talk about this, man. We got to unpack this. There's certain things that I can and can't say in the context of church because people have these ideologies believing that certain things are supposed to be said in church, but I believe that the church is a Walmart and things should be said that are real relevant, that are even sometimes raw. Or what have you. And so, man, we're going to deal with some stuff on today, on tonight, in a little bit, man. And I want to get your feedback. If you want to request to come on or whatnot, if I say something that piques your interest, maybe you have a comment, etc., that's fine. Just let me know. We will buzz you in, but just do know that you come in at your own risk. You come in at your own risk. On tonight. Okay, I think I got it shared on everything on all my platforms. Go ahead and share this so we can get started on tonight. Just by show, I want to see who's on here. If you are single, you are in the dating pool. If you are in the dating pool, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Well, you say, well, Rich, what's the dating pool? That means it's a collection of individuals who are currently not in a relationship and are available to date and marry. In other words, if you're not married, then you're really in the dating pool. Now, if you engage and all this other stuff, but I'm talking about individuals who are in the dating pool. I want you to put a 1 in the chat. I want to see who is on tonight. Okay, I see Tina is up in the house. Tina said she's looking for a man. I heard you today. Yeah, she's looking for a man. So all these folk in here, only got one. I see one person that's in the dating pool. Now, some ain't right with that. I want to know how many people that we have that are watching on tonight that are in the dating pool. That means you are available to date. Man, we talked about some stuff on today, but we talked about some stuff last week, and I'm really going to unpack it on tonight. Candace, I see Tina. Me, Candace say me. Put a 1 in the chat if you're in the dating pool, if you are available. If you are available. All right, we're going to start it. Man, it's so much information that I have. Y'all ready for this tonight? All right, let's start. Go ahead and share this. Something in that water ain't right. So, see, there you go. See, you coming in talking about something in the water ain't right. You see, Leah? I see you, Leah. I see you. I said, we dealt with that last week. Well, we dealt with that last week, and basically I came from John 5 and 6, Leah, talking about the dating pool, the pool of the Bethesda, that how everyone wanted to, of course, get healed. But there was something that I said that I need to really say tonight, is that everybody that was at that pool, something was wrong with them. So we often blame people that's in the pool, but we forget that when you are in the pool yourself, you too are imperfect. So we got to be careful, man, of thinking everybody doesn't meet up to our standards. Something was wrong with everybody. Some were blind, some were lame, some were paralyzed, some just had mental and throw off issues. Man, something was wrong with everybody. And I'm telling you, everybody who's watching me, including myself, watch this, something is wrong with me. And I believe that dating, successful dating, is finding out what's wrong with someone and either choosing to deal with it or to decide to let them go. It's just that simple. You know, it's everybody got some baggage. I said that in my book, I Can't Keep Dating Like This, that everybody has some baggage. Everybody got something that's wrong with them. Sometimes it's your attitude, sometimes it's your cleaning habits, sometimes your money fund. Oh, something wrong with everybody in the dating pool. But I want to give you a definition real quick as it relates to dating. Dating should be viewed as an interview for a permanent assignment. Marriage should be viewed as a permanent assignment that's never finished. Did y'all hear what I just said? Dating should be viewed as an interview for a permanent assignment, but marriage should be viewed as a permanent assignment that's never finished. So when you are married, you're always growing. You're always growing somewhere. You're always depositing. You're always learning to unpack your mate. I think that a lot of people get bored in relationships because people stop pursuing one another. They stop uncovering the layers that's there. I see some more people in there coming in saying that they are single, they're in the dating pool, they are available. But man, it was something that I said and I kind of want to deal with, and that's why I want to start on tonight or what have you. Man, everybody who was at this pool of Bethesda, they believed that if they got into this pool, then all their problems would be solved, right? So they believed in this superstition. And I believe, I call that a limiting belief. And I believe that many people, including singles, as well as married couples, we have limiting beliefs that cause us to stay in certain positions in life, certain lots in life. Please catch this. This guy believed, he believed that if someone took him to the water first, he would be healed from his ailment. He would be healed from his ailment. But that was farthest from the truth. And I believe that many of us, we have these limiting beliefs that either keep us single or keep us from long-term relationships. And I dealt with that over the last couple of weeks, but man, I want to deal with it tonight. And I really want to get my social media response from it. First thing that you need to know or whatnot, that when we're talking about relationship tonight, understand we're talking about something that has reciprocity. In other words, relationship requires reciprocity. In other words, it's not a real relationship if there's nothing in it for you. And some of you have been in these one-sided, lopsided connections. We can't call them relationships. There was no reciprocity. You call them relationships, but the truth of the matter is they were not relationships because you did all the giving and you didn't get anything back. See, I'm already talking about 10 of y'all right now. But have you shared this yet? Yeah. Have you shared this yet? Make sure that you share this. But I want to deal with these limiting beliefs. Things that we believe, the way that we think, our paradigm, it needs to shift in order for us to be more of a suitable mate. In other words, I got to change my thinking if I want to experience a satiety or satisfaction in a relationship. Man, let's be honest. Most people who get into relationships, man, they are not good experiences for them. They often end bad. Why is that? You're the only common denominator. Hey, you done dated 10 people in the last 3 years, and you're the only common denominator. So we got to begin to contemplate the consideration that maybe we're single because of us. Maybe it's some stuff that's wrong with us that we have not acknowledged, that we have not taken into accountability. And I think that's a good word right there, accountability. Oh yeah, I know you. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, I know it. I see you. I'm gonna step on some toes tonight, but that's okay. We're gonna get into a little juice on tonight. We're gonna get a little juice on tonight. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Some limiting beliefs that I dealt with. Let me go ahead and kill 3 church people real quick. God is not gonna find you a man. I think that God is busy doing a whole lot of other stuff, that he is not interested in choosing a suitable mate for you. He did it with Adam and Eve at the beginning, but now he is giving us to be free moral agents. A lot of y'all waiting on God. God said, no, I'm waiting on you to get out, put some clothes on, put some mascara on, put some spray on your hair, whatever you got to do. It's up to you to get out, and you got to actually do the work. And many of us, we don't want to do the work no more. Yeah, we don't want to do, we want God to just send us somebody. We over in the squash section in Kroger, and we think that Miss Short, Fine, and Stout gonna walk up to us, or Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome is gonna walk up to us, and we're gonna live happily ever after. We got to get this out of our mind that God is not in the dating business. And I think this is where a lot of church people miss it, is because they're waiting on God to do something for them that he has given them the power to do. Are you following me? Have y'all shared this yet to your timeline? Have you shared it yet to your timeline? Let me make sure we should be live on all systems. And make sure if you want to support, we have stars set up, I believe. I'm learning how to do all of this stuff now. Let's see, there we go. I'm learning how to do all of this stuff with stars and all this other stuff in the background. But God is not going to find you a man or woman. Scripture says, he that finds a woman finds a good thing. So in other words, when it comes to spirituality or what have you, it's not for a man to chase you. It's not for a man to go through all this hard work to get you. It's like he has to discover you. And I said something that was a trigger to a lot of women. A lot of women want a man, but the only place they go is to church, to work, to the house. Come on now. They may go to the supermarket. They may go out to eat every now and then. How are you going to be found and the only place you go is at the house? Yeah, but watch this. We're going to deal with this. I'm glad you're on, Candace. We're going to deal with this. He said he'll give you the desires of your heart if you delight yourself in him, which means that God puts the desires in your heart that you are to desire. You understand? So there are things that in people's hearts that they desire that God is not going to give them. God is not going to give you somebody else's woman. He's not going to give you somebody else's man. He's not going to give you more money than you can handle. You understand what I'm saying? So oftentimes when we get ready to deal with that, and which actually we dealt with that in the last 2 Sundays or whatnot, as it relates to, and I'm gonna deal with that tonight. I'm so glad you're on here. We're gonna deal with that tonight. I'm glad you said that because we're gonna deal with that on tonight. But I want you to understand that God is not into finding you a man. There is a works part that comes with ministry, that comes with spirituality, to where you got to do some work. Even scripture says, come on, from a Christian says on here, faith without works are what? Dead. So in other words, there's some things that you got to do. You got to keep yourself up. You got to keep your credit straight. There's some things that you got to do, and that God, he will meet you. He will present opportunities to you. And we're going to deal with that tonight because many of you have squandered opportunities. You're crying to God, wondering, God, why haven't you sent me somebody, when the truth of the matter is it's you. We're going to deal with that in a minute. But so the first thing, if y'all want to put this in the chat for the people who are going to come back and watch it later, that God is not going to find you a man and woman. You got to put yourself in a position to be found. And brothers, you got to actually find someone. It didn't say chase nobody. You got to actually discover the woman of your dreams and the woman that you have been desiring, etc. So we're going to deal with that. Let me go to another one or whatnot I dealt with last week. Or whatnot, that no relationship will ever be 50-50. Now, it'll never be 50-50. We're not talking about the 50-50 and bringing to the table and all this other stuff, but as it relates to what you contribute, what they contribute or whatnot, how do you measure to know if a person is bringing 50%? Is it half of the rent? Is it half of the light bill? Is it doing half the chores? I need to know what is actually 50-50. No, sometimes it's 60-40. Proverbially, sometimes it's 70-30 proverbially, but it's something that you contribute to the relationship, whether some may be finances, some may be they know how to clean, they know how to handle business, they know how to tackle administrative stuff. So no relationship is ever going to be 50-50, which means that many of you, you're looking for somebody that can pay half your bills that may not be the best suitable situation for you. Also, I said this, we're going to go on. We're going to have a whole live that's going to deal with this 50-50 thing, because I don't even know where this 50-50 thing came from. It's just out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? From what in my genuine, in my age and phase in life, you know what I'm saying? What we did is whatever is yours is mine, and whatever is mine is yours. So in other words, whatever people brought to the relationship, they pulled it together and it became 100-100. I don't even know where this 50-50 notion came from. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not sure the podcasters, I see them out there talking about the 50-50 all the time. I don't subscribe to that. I don't believe in that. And we're going to have a whole live that's going to deal with this whole 50-50 thing, because I don't believe that it's ever 50-50. I said something. Relationships are not about equal gifts. It's about equal commitment. So in other words, I need you equally committed to me as I am to you. And that's been a problem. You've been running into folk where there's only been this lopsided, one-sided commitment. And that's why you feel frustrated or what have you. But let's deal with some other stuff. Let's keep on going or what have you. We'll deal with all that stuff, the table and all that other stuff on later on, or maybe another live or what have you. But I said that no relationship is 50-50, right? But I also said this or what have you. And I remember in service, I gave the example of Fred the crane. I got this crane in the backyard that, like, when I step outside, he fly out of just nowhere, man. It's some Jeepers Creepers type stuff, right? And so when I'm fishing, I'll throw him some brim, but he just come back every day. And I said something in that particular message as it relates to feeding Fred. Fred, he has no emotional attachment to me. He don't like, man, hey man, I like this dude. There's no emotional attachment or nothing like that. Fred keep coming back because I keep feeding him fish. And what I said in that particular service was that a lot of y'all got the same guys keep coming back because y'all keep feeding them. Y'all keep feeding them with resources. When they get low, you cash app them something. You keep bailing them out on stuff. You keep giving them the hot pocket. You understand what I'm saying? You keep feeding them, and so they keep coming back. And there's an old artist that said it. I don't know. They say that if you feed a cat, it'll keep coming back. Same thing with the guys. You keep feeding her, and that's why she keep texting you. That's why she keep inboxing you. That's why every post you post, she likes it, because she's borderline stalking you because you keep feeding her. Just like that cat that once you fed, it keep coming back again and again. Y'all not hearing me. Are y'all hearing me today? Are y'all hearing me today? We talked about not only what you feed won't guarantee a relationship, because you guys have been feeding folk and it still hasn't been fruitful. So maybe you need to see if Fred gonna come back after about a week of not feeding him, or will Fred move on? We also said this. We said that single don't mean loneliness. It doesn't mean loneliness. I think that what we have done in the church especially is that we have equated singleness to loneliness, but single doesn't mean lonely. It means that I'm without a companion. And the truth of the matter is, I've seen some of the loneliest people in the world who are married people. They're some of the most lonely people in the world. They don't have anybody to talk to, anybody to mentor them, anybody to pour into them, anybody to vent to. Their friends, most of them don't have good marriages, so they don't surround themselves with people that have decent or quality marriages in which they can glean from. And that's a bad place to be when you can't vent to nobody, when you can't bump nothing off nobody. I got a circle of individuals that if I want to deal with something, if I want to bump something off somebody, I can call them. Why? Because I created a system so that I can actually expand. Y'all know it's hot right now in Mississippi. Y'all ever notice in the neighborhoods that how in Mississippi we got the slits in the concrete, right? The slits in the concrete are there for times like this, because what happens is concrete, once it gets heated to a certain level, it expands. Well, if there's no slits in the concrete, then the concrete buckle. This is why in some of the older neighborhoods where they didn't put slits in the concrete or expansion slots in construction in the concrete, they buckled up. And so when you're in marriage, when you're in a relationship, you got to have some type of expansion block. Even when you're dating, man, nobody wants somebody that is cramped up with their mate all day. Come on now. I got partners, man, that they got wives so clingy. They're just like, hey, bro, let's chill, man. Come on, let's hang. Let's go on the boat. Let's do this and that. Man, I'm chilling with me. You've been with them for 8 hours. You can't get away for 2 hours to get you a break. Come on, man. Y'all tripping. Nobody wants somebody that's going to cling to them like that. Are you following me? But single, it doesn't mean loneliness. And so I really wanted to unpack today because there was so much that was said or whatnot. I want to buy a poll real quick by putting ones in the chat. How many of you have a list? How many of you have a list? Like, he has to be such and such. He has to make a certain amount. He has to do that. He has to, or she has to meet these type of requirements. She really can't have any kids because I'm not really dealing with no baby daddy drama. How many of y'all got a list? I just need to see by a show of ones in the chat. Ones in the chat. How many of you guys have these proverbial lists or what have you? Just put a one in the chat real quick. Put a one in the chat. If you got a proverbial list, I want to see what is your. We're going to examine that for a minute. Somebody said, Kenyatta, I can't see comments real close. I'm trying. Let me see, can I pull up so I can get these comments? I can't really see y'all comments. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Let's see, can I get these comments, y'all? I can't. Your replies. Let me get y'all comments. Let's see, I see, okay, I see one. All right, I see a couple of Leah say they got a list. Okay, all right, I see that. Okay, I see that comment. Okay. But I don't see anybody else's comments. This is weird. Okay, let's go to this profile here. So a couple of y'all got lists or what have you. So, man, I wish I could just request somebody on so we can have a conversation or whatnot. In fact, one of y'all who press one, I'm gonna try to figure out how this thing works and whatnot. I've never done this, but I want you to request live if you know your hair done, you know you're okay or whatnot. I want you to request on because I want to have a conversation with you. I want to have a conversation with you. I'm trying to get this to work. It's just not. Okay. Oh, I give up. I'm just going to have to kind of see the comments from afar. I want somebody. Okay, how do you do this? Bring them in. It's watching. I used to, but it's unrealistic. Katisha said, I used to, but it's unrealistic. Commitment is key, that's right. Who want to come on? Who want to join me? Who have a list? Candace? I want to talk to somebody who got a list. You know, we talked about this list today, and in my book, in the first chapter, I dealt with that as it relates to what exactly do you want. Now, what I talked about, Candace, is that we all have this image that's in our mind. The question is, where did this image come from? Where did this image come from? Psychologists believe that who we are is a collection of where we've been, what we've experienced, what we've been taught, etc., right? Most of us have these images in our mind that come from soap operas, social media, sitcoms, movies, etc. Yeah. Over a period of time, we say we like the traits in him, we like the traits in her, we like the attitude that he has, man, we like the shape that she has. And in our mind, we've literally built this person that we actually desire. But the problem is the person that we have built up actually doesn't exist. Last Sunday, I gave the stats of how many single guys make over $100,000. And the percentage was so small, it was less than 10%, right? The percentage was so small that included black, white, Chinese, it's just, you know what I'm saying, sexual orientation. So assuming that these 10% of guys make a certain amount of money or whatnot that like women, I mean, you're really less than 2% of the guys that fit that niche. What I'm saying is that you got to kind of review your criteria. Well, what's your criteria? We talked about this today. You have standards, morals and values versus preferences. Come on, let's break that down real quick. Standards, morals, and values. Hey, they got to be saved. They got to be monogamous. They have to values. They have to embrace the kids that I have maybe from a previous relationship or previous marriage. These are your non-negotiables. These are your non-negotiables. That's right, non-negotiables. Somebody was in service today. Somebody said, yeah. Oh. These are your non-negotiables, right? These are the things you say, no, I'm not going to give up on. But your preferences are your choices. These are the things that you can adjust. You know, maybe you're a little taller and you wanted somebody that was 6'6" and above, but when you look at the people that are 6'6" above, they don't fit none of the other criteria. So really, it limits you to this small population of people. What I'm saying is that based on these many of your standards along with your preferences, there's not even enough people that exist that you desire. There's not enough people that even exist that you desire. There's not enough people that exist that make that money. And so I said last week that, you know, maybe you got to settle for somebody that make 40 or 50,000 and that you can build from. And maybe that you can add to their life and that you guys can build something together. You know, now the other side of that coin is, I need y'all to really listen to this, is that when you're at a certain age, you need to have something. If I'm getting ready to get married at 40 and 45, I need to have something. I can't be just starting at 40 and 45 and you talking about what you bring to the table and you don't even have a table. Come on now. At a certain age and phase in life, I expect you to be able to do something. Y'all understand? Don't get around to date someone 5'8". I'm not saying, Candace, you got to date somebody 5'8". What I'm saying is those things could be adjusted. Maybe you had 6'6" in mind. Maybe you got to go for 6 feet or the same height as you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, you wanted them light skinned, but maybe they need to be chocolate. You understand? These are things that people have been standing on, but it has caused the population and the pool of individuals that fit those criteria to not even exist, or to be so few that you'll never run into them. So what I'm saying is that you got to look at your preferences. You know, maybe you say they used to have all their teeth. Well, maybe 28 out of the 30-some teeth that I gotta have or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not the money requirement or something like that. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, I can have somebody that's stable, that take care of their own bills, that's, you know, and we can put my money against their money, then we can really build a life together. What I'm saying is that many people are so stuck on their preferences that they're out-preferencing themselves in the dating pool. There's nobody that exists that meet all the criteria on this list and don't even check nowhere near all the boxes. So you got to look at, hold on, these are my non-negotiables. They got to have this. They got to be saved. I'm not dating a Buddhist. I'm not dating a Muslim. I'm not dating a Harry Christian. I'm not dating a Jehovah's Witness or whatnot. And that's no knock on all my Jehovah's Witness followers and those who are other religions, but I'm just using this as a backdrop. Because there may be many Muslims say, I'm not dating a Christian. That's your non-negotiable. And you got to make sure that you have those in stone. You got to have those in stone, these non-negotiables, so to speak, right? And so once you have, God knows, you need to take a hard look at your preferences. Like, man, I really wanted somebody light-skinned. I really like how they go. Or, you know, maybe you're 35 and 40, and you're just like, man, they got to have a six-pack. But, man, you know, when we got older, man, some of us, we used to have some muscles, but, man, we in our 40s now. So, I mean, I can give you a 2-pack or 4-pack, but maybe you got to negotiate on the 6. Because you know, you're older now and they're older now and they just not may have the frame that you were looking for when you were 23 and 24. Maybe they could provide that then. Please catch this. So you got to really review this image in your mind and where it came from. I suggest that you write down your non-negotiables. Come on, I'm trying to help somebody that's single out here today. What are my non-negotiables? Look, they got to be funny. They not as relates to your non-negotiables. That's one of your preferences and whatnot. But they got to be saved. They got to be this and that. They got to be that. Then you get to your preferences. You know, they got to be funny. They got to be such and such. But see, those things can fluctuate. What I've seen over the last 25 years is that many single people, they're not only stuck on the negotiables, which you should be. They're non-negotiables. That's why they're called non-negotiables. But I'm seeing singles that are stuck on their preferences, and maybe the guy's off by a little bit. You know, maybe you say, you know, I don't want to date anybody with kids, but you're 42 now. What's the likelihood that you meet somebody that don't have any kids? What's the likelihood at 42 and 45 that you'll meet somebody that have not had a divorce? What's the likelihood? And so it's a numbers game. You understand? It's a numbers game. And so I said something in service today that I want to repeat. I said you unconsciously, as a result of you having this list in your mind, you unconsciously begin to eliminate likely candidates. So you'll meet someone and you unconsciously compare them to this list that you have in your head, and you unconsciously eliminate, say, you know what, nah, that's just, maybe I never dated a guy like this. Maybe this is the type of guy that you need. Maybe this is the type of guy that really fit into the puzzle of your life. Maybe this is the type of woman that you need that can really, she don't go out, she's a homebody, you know what I'm saying? Maybe this is the opposite person that you need. You see? And so you really have to recalibrate your relational compass and say, you know what will I, and I don't even want to use the word settle, because you're not necessarily settling, you're reviewing your preferences to see that at this age and stage in life, does this fit me? Because at 35, your list, your proverbial list should be different than what it was at 23 and 24. So I'm not saying that you need to settle. I'm saying you need to review your preferences, because as you get older, the pool of men, the pool of women out there that fit that criterion may not even exist. And so now you're looking for a ghost. Man, I wish that I could see y'all comments, man. I wish that I could see. You know what? I can. I'm going to go here. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to be able to see y'all comments. It's still like, let me see the comment. Okay, I got you. Somebody said, my list came from seeing the man my father was and his characteristics. That's a good start. That's a good start. But the truth of the matter is, do we really know what your father and what our mothers were behind the closed doors? You understand? There are some characteristics and traits that I exemplify to my daughter or whatnot, but the truth of the matter is that they don't really see to the totality of who you are relationally. You understand? There are people who thought that their daddies were great, but they were big mama. And I'm not saying that was yours. I'm saying that in many times, is the case that as a kid, a good parent will shelter them from seeing a lot of stuff. And that's one of the problems in many of your relationships, that you're allowing your kids to see the toxicity, and you're literally creating generational dysfunction. Yeah, you're literally creating generational dysfunction when you allow your kids to see something that is not beneficial for their future. Because like you said, that your father had a major influence on you. Right? Okay, I was seeing comments. I'm seeing comments on that one. Okay. All right, I'm just going to have to wear my glasses next time, because I can see the comments, but they're so far away. Like around crack jokes all the time. With men who doesn't have a sense of humor, right? But that's a preference, and that's a preference. And Marjorie, I agree wholeheartedly. That deals with their whole personality. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When you're funny and when you're just a great person to be around and whatnot, that deals with your personality. And I don't believe that you need to negotiate on that. As it relates to personality types. Even Myers-Briggs created a personality test that really showed whether or not you will match with somebody. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, man, that it's harder for really, really ESTJ personalities, outgoing personalities, to mesh with introverts. Now they can mesh or whatnot, but it becomes difficult. They have to really learn one another. But that's a preference. And, that's really a preference, you know what I'm saying? But I can see it as also a non-negotiable, because that is embedded in their personality. I agree with you, man. I got to have somebody that, you know what I'm saying, can take some jokes, you know what I'm saying? Because, I may say some funny stuff. I like to have fun. And so I can't have nobody that's dry that don't like to have fun. So I feel you on that, Marjorie, or what have you. I'm trying to read it. Same here, as you'll be able to laugh. Right. And that's understand, but you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of little stuff that we get caught on. You know what I'm saying? As it relates to how much money you thought that they were going to make. You know what I'm saying? I think that, like I say, movies and sitcoms and stuff like that, because look, you got to realize that for many of us, that's all the models we had was the Cosby Show. So, you know what I'm saying? In your mind, you're like, man, I want a Cosby. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the Cosby on the show, because you know what I'm saying, he be dropping stuff and folk drinks. So we're not talking about that Cosby. We're talking about the Cosby, the Mr. Huxtable. We're talking about Mr. Huxtable, right? But so you really have to recalibrate your relational compass, and I think that if we do that, I think that we'll open ourselves up to more people. I said also this as it relates to your independence today. I said keeping the relationship. Many people stay single because they want to try to keep their independence in a relationship. You got to understand it's a relationship. It's two people. I think that what happens is many people, when they get into a relationship, they don't stop being single. They want to be connected with somebody and they want somebody at the same time. It's like you want the best of both worlds. And so as a result, you never really merge. And so these are some of the problems that I deal with married couples, is that they never really became one. They're really roommates with a certificate. And even scripture says you become one flesh. You see, and so I'm not saying losing your personality, giving up who you are as a person. I'm saying that there are certain things when it comes to committing that you lose your independence. You lose your ability to say, I don't have to tell you where I'm going. I don't have to tell you who I'm talking to. You lose that when you get married. And if you know, the type of person to say, I don't have to answer to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown. I know I'm married. I ain't got to tell her where I'm going. I'm a grown man, dog. You're going to be a grown divorced man, too. You're going to be grown and divorced. Who is he to ask me who I talk to and who this and that? No, you lose some of that independence when you get married. And so many of you think that marriage is, you know, just, hey, I'm hooking up with somebody, I'm having this good old legal sex, and no. It's a whole lot bigger than that. It's a whole lot more complex than that. You become one, which means that it's not me, myself, and I. It's us, we, and our. It's us, we, and our. You see what I'm saying? You shout them the real pronouns right there. Us, we, and our. In other words, that it's not your car and my car, it's our car. Yeah. It's not your house and my house, it's our house. It's sad because even the courts recognize it as y'all stuff together. This is why most of the time when you get a divorce, it's splitting right straight down the middle. Why is this? Because it's us, we, and our. Most people never make that shift. I've seen people go through marriage and divorce, from being married, being engaged, dating, engaged, married, and divorced. And it's like stages. And I've seen people where I was like, man, the way that they're living separate. You know what I'm saying? Look, hey, how you keep your finances is up to you. But what I find is that when people have secret bank accounts and all this other stuff, I find that it becomes easier to do stuff that you shouldn't be doing. I believe that anything that's hidden in marriage is demonic. Most of you guys don't want a level of accountability that comes with marriage. So where you been? What you mean, where I've been? Grown and gone. Do y'all hear me? Do y'all really hear me? Come on. I said something earlier today too, as it relates to the reason why many people are single, and the reason why some of you guys are single is because you create codependency as a function in a relationship. You fall so fast that you give them everything too fast, including your body. Now they become dependent. And I gave the 5 steps to creating codependency and dependency as it relates to Robert Lupston's toxic charity. You give a person something one time, they'll appreciate it. You give them something a second time, they'll expect it a third time. You give it to them a third time, they're going to anticipate you're going to give it to them a fourth time. You give it to them a fourth time, they're going to be entitled to it for a fifth time. You give it to them a fifth time, they're going to be dependent upon it. You get into a relationship and you divest too fast. Y'all getting houses. Y'all ain't even married, but y'all got a mortgage together, man. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. So you create codependency because you need somebody to need you. This is why some of y'all, wait till y'all see the title of my next book. Oh my God. Oh my God. The title gonna go viral. Wait till y'all see the title of my next book. It's gonna straight go viral. In fact, I'm gonna need to be doing pre-orders probably in the next 30 to 40 days, something like that. I need to be doing pre-orders because this book I think it's gonna do extremely well. So make sure y'all check it out. I Can't Keep Dating Like This was my freshman book, 2016. It's been 7 years. Since then, a whole lot of stuff has happened. Dating has changed, etc. But one of the reasons that you guys stay single is codependency. This is another big thing that we dealt with today. And some of you guys, you know, and I say this, and I say this humbly, is that you're broken. But the problem is not that you're broken, it's that you won't allow anybody to help you heal. And I want you to understand this as it relates to healing. You can't heal from the same source that broke you. And so here it is, you're in the relationship that broke you and expecting the relationship to heal you. You got to get outside help in order to heal. This is why most married couples are struggling, is because they don't have anybody to help with them in their struggling moment. You can't heal from the same source that broke you. I said that many people feel they don't need help from the outside. So as a result, we got a whole lot of people who don't have emotional intelligence, who are really jacked up, who really don't want to see a therapist, because I believe you need Jesus in therapy. Yeah. And we got something coming, Carla. We're getting ready. We're actually creating an app that's dealing with relational mentoring. You know, we're going to mentor people who are engaged, and we're going to mentor people who are married. They're going to have access to us, to ask questions, access to the community. They're going to get resources, videos, etc. That's coming really, really soon. My own app where you'll be able to actually subscribe to mentoring, because we know that there's a void there. We know that people need that, and we got knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to give them. And so that's actually coming, Carla, in a little bit. Stay tuned. You'll be seeing a whole lot about it. In fact, it's in development. It's probably about good 60 to 65% done. And so as we upload content, get it approved by Apple and Android, we will have an app that will actually create a community for people in relationships to receive mentoring. We feel that, so we got these unresolved past traumas. We got these traumas that we don't even know there are traumas. What I did today in service, I had one of my guys. He sprayed cologne on his hand, and I did the same thing. And I went and shook a few people's hands. And in the middle of service, I asked the people that hands we shook, did they smell their hand? And you know, most folks, probably 99%. I think there was one lady who said she couldn't smell it or whatnot. She probably got them thick hands. I don't know, Miss Wynn. She probably got them thick hands or something. But everybody that we came in contact with had the fragrance from our hands on them. Now, this is what's crazy, is that they didn't know when we did this. They didn't know that we were doing this. They know that somewhere along the line, that when they maybe went up to their face, they smelt the fragrance that was on their hand. And I said that what happens is, when we're hurt, we end up carrying the fragrance from our past. And that sometimes we need people help to realize when it happened, how it happened, and how to get rid of that smell. And so many of us are carrying the fragrance of past traumas, the fragrance of past hurts, the fragrance of past relationships. And it's literally causing a stench in your new relationships, because you don't realize you are carrying the fragrance of your last relationship, of your last marriage. And it needs sometimes attention from people who are certified in this area. I do spiritual advisement. I believe in clinicians. And I got clinicians that may be watching right now that will take your appointment and that will utilize your insurance. Sometimes you need to talk to people and help process that pain, because unprocessed pain actually permeates in everybody that comes in contact with you. Some of you, your jobs will get better, your relationships will get better, your relationship with your kids will get better, with your family members will get better when you get better. But oftentimes we don't really smell the stench ourselves. Just like a person who wears a lot of cologne often doesn't smell the fragrance themselves. But it's when they come in the spirit of somebody else's influence that's when somebody says, "Ooh, what is that you got on?" And sometimes when you got on good stuff, you don't even smell it. Sometimes when you got on stinky stuff, you don't smell it. You understand? But when somebody comes in the sphere of your influence, they smell the fragrance of your past hurts. When you open your mouth, they smell the fragrance of your past hurts. When you do certain things, the way that you react to certain things, they smell the fragrance of your past hurts. Somebody say, somebody say I had to learn that. That's right. That you may not see. So a therapist can unpack you, even spiritually. You come into my office and come into the sphere of my influence, and I ask you certain questions, and we can see where somebody dropped you. There was a story in the Bible where, back in the day when they changed kingdoms, right? They changed kingdoms. How long have I been? Yeah. When they changed kingdoms, they would kill all the people in the old kingdoms, right? And so they wanted to make sure that the family from the old kingdoms did not rise up and try to take the new kingdom who had come into office. So they would kill the kids, they would kill everybody that was related to the last kingdom. Now, this is important. I need you to really hear this. This is extremely important. There was this guy named Mephibosheth who was the son of Jonathan. And when the new kingdom had took reign, they were fleeing. They were fleeing away from the old kingdom because they feared that somebody was going to kill them. And while they were fleeing, scripture says that a nurse dropped Mephibosheth. And as a result of being dropped, he ended up having club feet, which means that for the rest of his life, that incident was evident and prevalent in his life. He could not hide the fact that somebody dropped him. And the truth of the matter is that somebody who maybe dropped you, and everybody can see it. He had club feet for the rest of his life. And so as the story goes, the new kingdom that came in, David, he didn't want to kill everybody in the last kingdom. Because Jonathan was his best friend, and Mephibosheth was basically like, like his little nephew or whatnot. He wanted to make sure that they were set straight. So he invited Mephibosheth to the king's table. And there was something that once he got to the king's table, he was asking Mephibosheth questions, and Mephibosheth didn't feel worthy that he should be sitting at the king's table. Now, what's interesting is Mephibosheth was the son of a king. You're supposed to be at the king's table, but when somebody dropped you, you don't see your value and you don't see your worth and you don't feel that you need to be at the table. When you've been dropped, you don't feel that you are deserving of the great woman and the great man that you're supposed to have. When somebody dropped you, sometimes it creates club feet and an internal insecurity that causes you to sabotage unconsciously every relationship that comes in the sphere of your influence. Who dropped you? Sometimes you need a therapist to unpack that. Who dropped you? Who did something, said something to you that was so damaging that the fragrance of that particular event now carries with you every relationship you get in, and everybody smell it but you. I'm so glad that scripture says in Psalms 147:3 that God, he heals the brokenhearted. Scripture says that he pulls them close, that he heals the brokenhearted. Because sometimes I'm in situations where people break my heart. I have people break my heart all the time. In fact, pastoring is the only profession where you break up with people every week because somebody leaves the church every week. So it's like going through a breakup every week. And so I got a pastor with a warm, broken heart because I get my heart broken all the time. Yeah. And so I know what heartbreak feels like. And the truth of the matter is some of you are suffering from heartbreak. They dropped you. And as a result, you don't trust nobody. And as a result, you won't let down the walls of communication because you often are triggered by certain things in what people say and what they do in relationships. Yeah, somebody said hurt people hurt people. We dealt with that today. Have y'all shared this yet, man? I'm just talking. And have y'all? How long have I been on? I've been on 52 minutes, man. It feels good to be back live, man. And I hadn't been live in a minute, but I promise you this: I'm going to be creating a whole lot more content. And I got some smashing books that's coming out. But let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. I also talked about, you know what I'm saying, the reason why people or singles stay single is because they don't think that there are no good marriages out there. I think that media has done a great job at portraying that marriage is not a good idea. And so now there are many people who believe that, man, there are just simply no good marriages out here. And so as a result, you know what I'm saying, they don't believe in the institution anymore. There's so many people say, man, I ain't never getting married. There are people who are married and say, if something ever happened to my spouse, I'll never get married again. Why is that? What happened? What happened? We know that married couples have healthier children, have better finances, have better sex lives, regardless of what's contrary to popular beliefs. And I need to do a live just on that. Man, do you realize that my first book was called When the Sex Stops? And so I got to deal with these married couples because, man, I got married couples, I got singles that's ready to get in the bed, and I got married couples that don't get in the bed enough. I got to do a whole live on that. That's some content. But y'all gonna get a lot of that stuff on my app that's coming, and it's gonna be released. It's gonna be released soon. So we just gotta upload the videos and send it to Apple. Everything else is done. But we're gonna deal with that. We're gonna deal with that. They believe that there are no happy marriages out there because all your friends who didn't go through marriage counseling, who didn't do the homework, who married somebody that wasn't saved, and you seeing them and how they interact and how they divorce and how they are married, and you see how they carry on. You say, I don't want that. Well, the truth of the matter is you are looking at a poor model. And you got to be careful of looking at these internet marriages too, because I've seen people who post pictures on the internet and he just whooped her the night before. But they on the internet smiling because we know that he whooped her because they counseled. Do you see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of the facade of the internet in these relationship goals because you don't know who has a quality relationship if you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But that's one of the things that keep people single. But this is a big one here. Y'all ready for this? Some of y'all are single because you keep listening to bad advice. There's so many podcasts out here. And I'm like, bro, how you giving relationship advice? We ain't never seen you with a woman. We ain't never seen you with a woman. But we got podcasts, we got all of these folk who got platforms, and they're literally poisoning the souls of millions of people with information that is not relevant to their success. I said something last Sunday. I said that, people used to call me a relational guru and they used to call me a relational expert. I don't accept that. I am a relational scientist, though, because there are things that you can do in a relationship that will guarantee that you will have some satiety and satisfaction in the relationship. There are certain communicative principles. You can communicate in a certain way that will guarantee that you have a quality communication in a relationship. There are some things that you literally can do that can increase the satiety of a relationship. It could be studied. Relationships can be studied. You can come into a room. John Gottman talks about this. This is a psychological thing called thin splicing. It's when couples come into a room, I can read their body language and really tell you a lot about their situation. Wow, it's a science to it. It's a science to relationships. But just like now, anybody can get a podcast mic. They can get this Rode thing that I got right here. They can get all of these things. They can come online and begin to talk, and people listen, and they'll have a bona fide audience. Look at this. I got, 23 live people on here, and I'm the real deal. Now, it's going to grow. I hadn't been live in a minute, so we got to get the algorithm back working and stuff like that. But I want you to understand that you got to be careful who you get advice from. And, Scripture talks about he who walks with the wise will be wise. So my question is, what type of people are you walking with? Are all your girls single? You ain't got no married friends? You ain't got no married friends He that walks with the wise shall be wise. He who walks with a fool shall be a fool, or a companion of fools shall be a fool. And you'll end up with foolish results. Many of y'all getting y'all bad advice from friends, from people who have toxic situations, and they are poisoning your mind. This is why when you get in trouble, watch this now, when your marriage get in trouble, it's not the time to go to Facebook. Now, it's not time to go to Facebook. It's not time to go do a whole lot of people and tell them what's going on or whatnot, because everybody may not be equipped to handle your situation. Why would I go to a mechanic if I got a throat issue? Make it make sense. Why would I go to a gynecologist for a back issue? You go to a specialist that is equipped with the tools to be able to help you when your relationship goes bad. If something goes with my car, I'm taking it back to Ram, because it's a Ram and they specialize in it. We used to take all these different cars to mechanics, and I'm not knocking mechanics, but I'm taking it back to the person that I know have expertise in dealing with that issue. Man, we got to stop listening to this bad advice out here. There are some sound bites that sound good, but they're not only theologically wrong, they're culturally wrong, but they're also relationally wrong. And these are principles that if you employ, you will not be successful in marriage. Now, one thing that I hate is that we're living in this Kevin Samuels generation. Rest in peace, my fraternity brother, Kevin Samuels. But what he has done is he has empowered average men to think that they are the prize, which in essence, I understand his philosophical delivery on that. But you also have created these monsters. And I got to do a whole live on this. There's this culture war between black men and black women, and it only exists you don't see white women talking about the white men and the white men bashing the white women. We don't see that. It's only in our community where we're going through this unsung culture war, where we're demeaning one another, disrespecting one another in the name of accountability. Come on now, this is this Kevin Samuels generation. Yeah, a seed of metaphor, whatever his name is. Then who are these people? You gotta stop listening to bad advice. Now, I'm not saying you can't get advice from anyone. You can get advice from anyone, but what I'm saying is that if I'm going to get some advice from somebody regarding taxes, I'm going to a tax expert. I'm going to a person that is properly equipped with the new laws at hand to be able to help with my tax situation. It's only in our culture. It's only in our culture. And I see it. I see it in the posts. I see it in the podcast. I see it in the reels. I see it. And people are bashing one another in the name of accountability. Do we need to hold people accountable? Yeah, there have been some issues. Yeah, there's always going to be issues where there's human interaction, because we are mere humans and we're always going to be imperfect beings. No matter how godly we think we are imperfect beings. So my question to you is, who have you been getting your advice from? I talked about committing too fast. We dealt with that in a little bit. But this is where I want to kind of park on tonight, because it's been an hour, and I kind of want to get into the habit of really going about an hour, according to my social media coaches. They say you need to go an hour, right? But this last thing, what's keeping a lot of y'all single is that you don't think you can meet nobody online. You don't think that someone can find you and discover you in your inbox. Maybe they saw you on a post. Maybe they came in on People to Know, and they just thought you were attractive. They went down your timeline and they can get a snapshot of the type of person you are by how you post. Because not only out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh, out of the abundance of the heart, the fingers post. So I can tell a lot about you by your page, right? And somebody said, well, man, you can't look at my page. Well, you may want to change that presentation, because there are people who are actually looking at your page and looking at whether or not you are wife material based on that silly stuff that you post. And you're single because of this silly stuff that you have been posting. You don't think you can find nobody online. And, what's after service, this was kind of crazy, right? After service, I talked about the Kelkers. The Caracas, man, Tanya, I've been going to my church for probably 10 years, right? And so 8 years ago, Chris, he decided to, and he said they were, basically, he didn't even know how they became friends. She came up on his timeline, and he was like, man, I think she's cute. And so, hey, he slid her an inbox and said, hey, I saw your page, and I found you attractive. And I just wanted to see, could I get to know you? And I'm leaving you my number. Now, if you call, fine. If not, I understand. But I just wanted to let you know that I am interested in you. And obviously, they called. Now they've been married 8 years. So after service, Fred and his wife also let me know that that's how they found each other. The doors of my deal are now open. Man, I was like, wow, for real? I said, tell me about it. They were interacting on somebody else's posts, right? And so, how people comment this and that, and they reply to a comment. They weren't even friends. And so, he said he clicked on a page. He said he went down the page. He said, he saw, a few scriptures and stuff. Like, okay, man, she's, seemed like a nice person. She's not all out there. And, you know what I'm saying? She don't seem like she talked too much. And, she fit his criterion just based on what he saw. So he slid in her DM. Man, they've been married, I think, over a year now. Man, but and this is the thing. You got to judge the quality of the shot that they shoot in your inbox now. If they come into your inbox talking about, hey, boo, I was just, I just was scrolling and I saw you, man. And I just thought you was just fine, man. I just, I love it. Man, can you come over to the crib? Like, bro, I don't know you like that. You understand what I'm saying? But respectful, hey, I saw you on a post and I was, looking at your profile and I was just, wondering, if you would be available maybe to go off coffee or something, meet at a neutral spot or just to even be able to talk on the phone so that you can be able to trust me and I can trust you and really see who you are and just, if it fits, not, and if not, it's no harm. It's just, I've just made another friend. You understand what I'm saying? But it's how the approach, it's the delivery, it's the form of the shot that they shoot in the inbox that you got to be concerned about. That's the problem. See, I said this in service today. Scripture says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Some of y'all no's be no. That's the problem. Y'all blocking everybody that shoot their shot in the inbox. And here it is. You may be having an opportunity to meet somebody of a lifetime and you blow it because your block game's strong. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to check out their profile and say, hey, they're kind of cute. I don't see any type of baby mamas. I don't see no stupid stuff on their page. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if I even give you your number, maybe we can talk through Messenger. Get to know one another. Because I'm telling you, this is what this stuff was created for. Facebook and all these things, they merged into other things. These were communities to create, to connect with other people. It just has merged into so many different other things. You see, so the truth of the matter is, yeah, them DMs be funny. Yeah, right, because people don't come correct. And that's the beauty of the DM, Candace, is that if I don't like the vibe that you bring and the energy that you bring in my inbox, block. 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 You know what I'm saying? It's just that easy. And guys, y'all got to do better. Stop just dropping random D-pics in people's inbox. Y'all trip me out. Man, look at this. Boom. Man, your inbox. How you approach a woman, a queen, with a D-pic in the inbox? We got to do better, fellas. Hey, I was just noticing your profile, and you just, you seem like somebody that's quite interesting. I love to get to know you if possible. If not, if you have somebody involved with somebody, hey, just disregard this inbox. Thank you for your time. It's the approach. It's the form. But nah, guys, y'all, but see, once again, some of y'all are getting shot at y'all is because of what you posted. You posted with your booty out. You got OnlyFans link in your description. Nah, they coming for the meat because that's what you present. That's why in your inbox you got, in your inbox, they all up in there. Yep. It depends. Oh, Lord Jesus. Lord. Get to know somebody. Don't think you can't meet somebody online. You can meet somebody online and have a satisfactory relationship. Kelka's prime example. Fred Demi and his lovely wife, prime example. He shot his shot, and she said when they first met, you know, she said that he had her. She had him come by the job, and she works at a particular hospital where there's a lot of security. So she said she just wanted to make sure it wasn't a catfish. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, of course, you got to do your due diligence. But man, there's some people that you can bona fide meet online that you can have a great relationship. You really can have a great relationship. But I got to roll. Look, it's been over an hour. I just wanted to kind of warm y'all up. Now, we're going to be unpacking. I don't know whether we're going to do Sunday nights or Wednesday nights, but man, we're going to be coming to you live every week. And we're going to talk about tough stuff, man. I got all types of topics. I mean, we're going to be breaking some of this down, this whole 50-50 thing, and bringing it to the table. We're going to be dissecting this whole submission word that people are going so crazy about. I don't need a woman to submit. Well, maybe she'll submit if you give us something to submit to. Submit comes naturally, even for the strongest women when they're with the strongest men. Y'all don't want to get me started. We're going to talk about that. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about. We got to talk about some tough stuff. I'm going to leave some surprises up in there. And so I'm going to give y'all notice. Y'all going to know a week in advance so y'all can set y'all clocks. But we're going to do it right. It's going to turn into a bona fide podcast. I got also another podcast that's coming up called When Bosses Talk. I'm going to be interviewing various people who are successful in their arenas. And we're going to learn, we're going to glean from them. We're going to be asking them great questions. You guys are going to be asking them great questions. So we got a lot of good stuff that's coming. You know, and I literally retire in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know, in fact, I got 168 days, about 5 months and 14 days left before I retire, passing over to my beautiful young brother that's going to do an exceptional job. And so I'll be able to also talk about some things more loosely, and so I wouldn't be under the pastor's guise of whatnot. So just stay tuned, man. We're going to come to you, but this is Revelations from the Recliner. I just wanted to unpack some of the stuff we talked about, and I may go live later on this week just to hang. And shout out to my brother Charles Jones, who's dropping his own fragrance, Class A. So make sure y'all hit up that. Let's support him. Let's buy out all his new fragrance. It's not every day that a brother come up with their own fragrance. So we want to make sure that plenty of y'all get that juice, get it from your man, etc. But look, I love you guys. It's great being with you, man. It's been over a year. I hadn't been live at all. And I said I was gonna go live, and I ended up my back or something happened with my back. I don't know when I was Oasis today or what. I don't know. But and so I wasn't sure whether I was gonna go live tonight. But just do know that we're gonna be going live a whole lot, and I want to begin to bring people on, and I want you guys to be able to ask questions. I want you guys to be able to ask questions. God has gifted me with wisdom. I give him glory, for real. I'm just a hood cat from Vicksburg, Mississippi that grew up in various parts of Vicksburg. You know what I'm saying? I ain't nobody special, but God has gifted me with wisdom. And your gift is not for you, your gift is for the world. And so I have to be better and doing better and actually giving my gift to the world. So I am available as a servant to the world. And so, people who have questions, put his name on the comments. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing some of y'all comments. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Do we know each other? Pat Mac told me, do we know each other? I ain't gonna mess with you, guys. I ain't gonna mess with you. I ain't gonna mess with you. Look, all right, let's get ready to roll out. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for sharing, man. We're gonna be having some fun on this thing. Yeah, Charles Jones. That's it. Charles Jones. Yeah. I'm gonna put his link in. In the live after I end the live. Man, let's go buy them out, man. They're for pre-order. They're getting ready to drop this Thursday, so I may be in Dallas for his release party because, man, you know, y'all guys often see me with all these shirts on, Black Ball and stuff like that. That's not my apparel. I'm getting ready to drop my apparel next year, right? And I'm supporting other people's companies because I'm sowing seeds. My goal is that I feel that if I can support somebody else's apparel, then I'll have people that will support my apparel when I drop it too. And so I'm sowing the seeds for where I want to go. And so, you know, I'm a big supporter of Black Ball golf wear, big supporter of Class A fragrance, all that good stuff. So, you know, like I said, we want to make sure, man, when we got quality black businesses or whatnot, I got a few travel agents on here, a few tax people on here. I see Marjorie's on here. Man, how do them folk? You want to take a trip out there, Marjorie Roberts? She'll take care of you. I got a few other folk that I saw that were on here on tonight. Make sure you support businesses. Join our group, Mississippi Businesses and Entrepreneurs, is for small businesses and stuff like that. Look, I love you guys. I gotta go. It's 9:30. It's been good. Until next time, we out.